each other sister brands here at QVC. So Home Reflections is QVC's interior line. We bring you beautiful pieces that help you bring out your personality in your home. We're always looking for those unique elevated pieces. This is one of my favorite that we've brought in for the season here at QVC for our Christmas in July sale. This is the Home Reflections 12.5-inch flocked resin Santa. And it is a beautiful, beautiful ode to the, I would say, vintage Santa. I'm going to just move this over so you can see all of the detail. He stands at 12.5 inches, has this gorgeous, gorgeous cape that runs down his hood. And then you have this beautiful, almost velvety, soft felt on the exterior of his coat. They come in two different colors. So what I have here in my home studio is that burgundy. And then we also have this in the emerald. And this is Home Reflections 12.5-inch flocked resin Santa. It's H466048. And we can get this home now for $24.98. So we do have it for you on that Christmas in July sale. He is standing on a beautiful, beautiful mound of snow. There's a little flocking going on at the bottom with just a little bit of glitter in there as well. As you move up his body, you have those classic, classic boots, all black boots. We know Santa so well in them. And then this reminds me of something that you would see almost in a German Christmas bazaar that they have in the middle of the city. As we move up his beautiful coat, we get to his shoulders where he is holding that bottle brush tree with the gold ornaments that just pop ever so slightly. You can see that dusting of flocking on his shoulders. And then we get to my favorite part, and where I really think that the resin shows how it can do so much. The detail in his beard, that gorgeous swirl that you see going on there, and then up to his realistic face with his rosy cheeks, his little button nose, his bushy eyebrows, and then finishing out right on the top with a little bit more flocking, and then just cascading down right back into his hood and his cape. I actually wore this sweatshirt because of him. This is a vintage sweatshirt that when my grandmother passed away, it was left to me. She wore it every holiday season. This Santa, to me, is something that I would have found in my grandmother's house. It would have been passed down from generation to generation. It has a very vintage feel to it, but there's also a modern twist with the color palette that we have going on, with the simplicity that we have going on with this as well. He stands at 12.5 inches, so it's a good height, a great, I would say, mantelpiece, or even if you're moving onto your dining room table and you want that centerpiece, think about placing him, put him up on a little platter. And then what I've done is I've just grabbed some twigs, some little twigs of pine cones and evergreens. And you can see by just placing that around him and kind of balancing him out on that platter, he just stands so tall, so beautiful. If you have people in your life that just got their first apartment or got their first home, and it's time for them to start collecting their Christmas decorations, this is definitely one that I would think about gifting, especially the younger generation. I love them because they love antiques. They love kind of that old is now new. So I am all here with them. He's a beautiful, beautiful color of burgundy. It's a really, really rich tone. There's a grounding to the entire burgundy color of his coat. And you get that same effect with our emerald as well. And the detail on him is absolutely incredible because he is made of resin. And the ability of resin is that you can pour it into a sculpt and it will come out perfect every time. You're getting all of the folds throughout his coat. You're getting all of the folds throughout his hood. And then as you come up, you have that beautiful dusting of the flocking and the glitter. And then finishing off with that bottle brush with those gold little ornaments. And of course, the beard is really, to me, it's the pinnacle part, right? When we think about Santa, where we need his big frothy beard, and they have it swirled almost like it's almost like an icing swirl the way the resin is done here. You have his little rosy cheeks, and then finishing off again with that flocking and the glitter. And this is new this year with Home Reflections. We are bringing a beautiful, beautiful selection for your home with our Christmas in July collection. We coordinate and curate everything back to each other. So as you look through our products, you can see how we're matching things back. Kringle Express does that as well. So we have a very vibrancy in Kringle Express, and over in Home Reflections, we have a little bit more of a muted, grounded tone, very rich in jewel tone. So we love working together because we're sister brands, so we get to play together and we get to bring those different elements of Christmas. So you can see right here in the studio, we have that emerald green on the left, and then we have that burgundy on the right, and these are standing at 12.5 inches. And if you're wondering about the depth of him, he's about 4.5. So across this base, if you want to put him on a mantle, he's going to go great. If you maybe have a bookshelf that has that more shallow edge, he would absolutely go there as well. And it's 1 pound, so he's a good weight, very sturdy, that gorgeous, gorgeous resin. And the choices, we're loving those emerald and those burgundies. And this is going to come home to you for $24.98. I shop for a living. That's what I do. So I have never, to be quite honest, seen something of such caliber and quality when we're talking about a gorgeous Santa that looks vintage. This looks like something that came right from my grandmother's house that she had held onto. And if you are a Santa collector, or you know somebody who is a Santa collector, this is a really unique piece to bring home to them. It's a Santa that I don't think that we see very often. And as we're decorating for the holidays and we have things that light up and they whistle and they sparkle, I love that we have a piece in the collection that can just stand on its own. It's a beautiful craftsmanship. You have all the elements that we're looking for with the softness of the coat, with that bottle brush, with the gold pops of the ornament, and of course his boots, his iconic boots, standing on that flocking of a big, we'll call it a snowball. I'm going to go with a little bit of a snowball. You have that flocking and tiny, tiny whisper of glitter on there to kind of bring a sparkle to him. This is H466048, and this is Home Reflections 12.5-inch flocked resin Santa. We have him in two colors for you. What you're seeing right now is the emerald, and then we also have it in the burgundy. They are both rich jewel tones, absolutely stunning when it comes to this detail. Made of resin, so when we are creating that cast, every little detail that you would get, you are going to see through here. So it almost looks as if somebody carved him, but he is made of complete resin, and we are loving the burgundy. I have to say, I cannot disagree with you. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And when we're thinking about decorating for the holidays, think about adding in those jewel tones into your normal Christmas colors as well. So if you're somebody who normally goes with those, bright reds and greens, adding in that touch of burgundy, adding in that touch of emerald, you can kind of see some things behind me where we're doing that as well. So it's just a really, really great way to add a different dimension to our holiday decor. And I have to say once again that if you have anybody in your life that loves vintage, if you have anybody in your life that collects things, that also likes a little bit of more modern things as well, this has the ability to kind of cross over. It can fit into a farmhouse chic home. It can fit into a mid-century home. It can absolutely fit into a vintage home. I have a little bit of a modern mixed with vintage. So for me, he will be the Santa that goes on our dining room table. I have about 3 Santas, and each year I pick which one is going to go out on the dining room table. And this year he will absolutely be it. You can see him standing all by himself right here, and I'll kind of step aside so you really see him in all of his glory and his silhouette. And then as I come through, I've just added it on a little wooden platter, and all I'm doing is adding these little twigs around, and you can see how it just really creates this full moment. Think about adding your flameless candles around here. Perhaps you have that console table, or maybe you have a little one who just really wants their own Santa for their room. This would be beautiful. If I had a cigar lounge in my home, my husband wants one. I don't but he wants one, but one that opens to the outside. This would kind of be the Santa that I would think of having in there. A little whiskey glass, a little cigar, and a little Santa in his velvet coat. Absolutely beautiful, stunning detail. That resin is what gives us the ability to bring all the detail into this Santa. He stands at 12.5 inches, so he is a good size. He weighs about 1 pound, so he's a sturdy little fella, and he's 4.5 inches in depth. So it's one of those holiday decor items where you can just pull it out and set it on the table. You do not have to worry about the batteries. You do not have to worry about the lights. It can stand on its own, or it can be added into multiple different types of holiday decor. If you have perhaps somebody who is a collector of Santas or is moving into a new home, this is a great housewarming gift. We have a lot of people moving into new homes. It's kind of that time of the year where people are trying to get in before the school year. So think about maybe getting this, sticking it away in your gift, your gift closet. If you're like me, I always have a gift closet. And then gifting this, sticking him with maybe a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates. For a price of $24.98, the quality on this is absolutely incredible. You are getting such a beautiful piece, and you have two options in the color. We have the burgundy and the emerald, and this is Home Reflections 12.5-inch blocked resin Santa, and it's H466048. And he's just a stunner. That's all I can say. He's absolutely beautiful. Oh, and a little later on, I will be presenting a choice of glitter pillars